Hi, my name is Sean Gibson from Triune IT Consulting. Welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about cybercrimes, predominantly ransomware, malware. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little quick discussion, throw some facts and figures at you, and then we're going to jump onto the PC and I want to show you some software or some ways that you can help protect yourself against different forms of malware or ransomware. I will say what I'm going to tell you applies to the home user or the business user. So it all counts. So let me just start this. Did you know that 50% of all cybercrimes are against small business? 50% against small business. Do you think that's bad? Well, based in mind that in 2017, we spent $6 trillion on protecting ourselves against cybercrime. It shows you it's a big deal. Well, why do you think they attack small business? Well, we don't have the means, maybe the funds and the time to protect ourselves as well as the big organizations. It doesn't mean we don't try. It just means that we don't have that available to us. We don't have thousands of dollars to throw ourselves against dedicated IT professionals that protect us from this. So what can we do? Because ransomware and malware are just exploding. Did you know that 40% of all spam contains ransomware? 90% of all phishing emails contain ransomware. So you can ask, what is ransomware? Well, ransomware is an electronic method of stealing money from you. What they do is you get an email, you go to a website. But typically through email, there's a link, you click on a link, there's an attachment, you open an attachment. What happens is it encrypts all the files on your machine, makes them unusable. You can't open them. You will get a nice little pop-up box on your screen saying, call this number, go to this website and pay a ransom to unlock all your files. In 2015, that ransom was $290 per incident. In 2017, it was almost $1,100. $1,100. One hospital in LA had to pay $17,000 in ransoms just in one attack to unlock the files on their machines. You know, in 2 years, damages caused by ransomware in 2015 went from $1 billion in damages, and damages is ransom paid, time down, backups, manpower. In 2017 is up to $5 billion. Hospitals, attacks on hospitals are expected to quadruple over the next 2 years. Ransomware, malware is something that we have to get a grip of. This is run by organized crime. This is run by people who are extorting your money. Money from ransomware, do you think it goes to educating your kids? Do you think it goes to feeding the homeless? No. So where does this money go? This money has been proven to go to drug cartels. It goes to human trafficking, and it does go to terrorism. So we have to protect ourselves because it's only going to get worse. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump onto the PC. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to run through a very small piece of a presentation that I did for an organization that we recently conducted phishing and malware testing on. What we do is we will reach out to these companies and we'll send emails and do some other things just to see what staff awareness is. So I'm going to skip through these slides, but I'm going to bring forward some stuff that is really relevant for when you are doing self-testing. So if you get an email, first and foremost, if you're not expecting that email, then look at it carefully. And I would, if it has an attachment and you're not expecting an email like this, don't open the attachment, at least without running it through the proper channels, the antivirus scans, things like that. And if there's links, don't click them. So, for example, this was a first email that we sent to the organization. And it's basically saying that your email account's going to be disabled and you need to click this link to reactivate this account. Well, there's a lot of red flags in this email. A, is that really going to happen? Especially if you have your own email account. If you're using Gmail, they're not going to say we're deactivating your account. Or if they are, they're going to give you a lot of contact information to contact them directly. They're not going to say, click this link to reactivate your account. One big way you can find out is if you hover over the hyperlink and don't click it, just leave your mouse over there, it will actually display where that link is going to take you. In this case, it's going to take you to microsoft.anotherdomain.com. I'm sorry for blanking this out, but there's some privacy concerns, so I didn't want to show you the full emails. But if it's not going back to where it came from, if it's not going to microsoftonline.com, then that's a red flag. If you were to hit reply on this email, the reply address, yet again, is not the same address as where it came from. In real life, if you were to hit reply, it should reply to support@microsoftonline.com. However, this doesn't. If they don't match, it's a red flag. Also, look at the grammar. Okay, on the next email, I sent this out on Black Friday. Yet again, there was no customer. This email was very generic. It didn't say, Dear Bob. It just says, take a look at these Black Friday deals. Okay? There was no formatting on the bottom of the email, such as there was no unsubscribe. There was no contact information. That also is a red flag. Once again, if you hover over the links, it doesn't go to where it came from. Or it's not taking, this should take you to blackfridaydeals.com, blackfriday.com. It doesn't. Just by hovering over, this box will pop up and it's going to tell you where that link is taking you. If it's not taking you to either the domain or to Walmart in this case, then it's a bad link. If you hit reply and it's not going to deals@blackfriday.com or wherever the email came from, it's a bad email. Okay. Also, the big question is, did you subscribe to this email? Did you subscribe to blackfriday.com? Did you subscribe to walmart.com? If you're getting emails from somebody you didn't subscribe to, that should be a red flag. Delete it. This one was a little bit cunning, and this one actually got almost 20% hit. This is an email pertaining to be coming from the CFO to pay an invoice, and to click on this link to take you to the document center to pay the invoice. Well, there was a lot of red flags in this. One, even though this was supposed to be an internal email, it's got a warning here that this came from an outside source. That should warn you that it's not an internal email. However, the link, if you look over the link, yet again, it doesn't go to where it's coming from. If it's coming from an internal staff member, you don't know the invoice, you're not sure about anything, call them. They're going to be more happy that you called rather than just clicked and paid money. There's no formatting. If this was a real email and this was an invoice coming from the outside world, they would have contact information beyond click this link. They would have a phone number. They would have another email address. Yet again, big red flags. And the final email was, I sent an Amazon email saying your package had been delayed. This was huge. This was just before Christmas. You wouldn't believe how many people clicked on this. The big red flags. Every one of these links, every single one of these links goes to the same address. So your orders and your order number and your Amazon.com and your mobile app and learn about tracking, they all go to the same address. Yet again, huge red flag. If you hit reply to, it doesn't go to Amazon.com. It goes back to an address that's not connected to Amazon. Do you recognize this order number? It's a badly formatted email. It doesn't have any personalization. There's no unsubscribe. There's no additional contact information. There's no phone numbers to phone. Okay? If you're not sure, don't click the link. Just go to Amazon.com or whomever that is, log in independently and check your order that way. It doesn't take but an extra 2 seconds to open up a web browser and log in. So there's some of the quick things to look at for an email. So let's recap. Check links by hovering, look at the reply address, and look at the grammar. Don't open on, this one was specifically work. We stress that users don't open their home email on their work PC because they bypassed a lot of the security protocols that are already in place. We like to suggest that if it's something that you're emailing and you know and you're a friend of this person, then put something personal in the email which validates it's coming from you, especially if you've got an attachment in there or there's a link in there that you need them to click. Go to the website independent of the email. Go to Amazon.com, go to Microsoft.com, log in. Don't just follow the links. Never provide your social security number, driving license, bank number, or bank details, or anything like that. And if you're not sure, ask somebody. So there you are. That's a little part of a presentation that we gave recently. Okay, so now we're going to look at some of the software that's out there that can assist us in our fight against ransomware and malware. So here I've collected just 4. There's plenty out there, but these are 4 that I think will really help. So let's start at this list. Avast. If you've not heard of Avast, then you're probably one of the few people in the world. But Avast is a free antivirus software. Avast is a great solution. Does it have all the bells and whistles? No, but I will tell you, as a starting place, Avast does a wonderful job. There's a lot of businesses I know that use Avast as their main and primary antivirus, and I don't think it can go wrong. If you're not using any antivirus, then go right now and download Avast, because something is better than nothing. Some people use the built-in Windows Defender, but if you ask me, at least get Avast. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Thycotic. Now, Thycotic is a unique piece of software. You know, a lot of people store their passwords in their browsers. I don't know if you know, when you log onto a website, it'll say, do you want to store this password? And it's in Internet Explorer, in Chrome, in Firefox. Do you want to store this password? And a lot of people click yes. So when they go to a website, it auto remembers their username and password and logs them in. It's such a wonderful thing. It makes life so much easier for everybody, including the guys who want to capture your information. If you've got malware on your machine and it's sneaked in, they do have the ability to access the information, the username, the password, and they can log in as you. They've got your information. It is bad practice to log on, to remember your logon information. So what this software do, it'll go through all the machines and it'll figure out which machine and which browser remembers that information. So this is a great free tool, at least to wipe that out and start from scratch so you don't store username and passwords. All right, the next 2, we're going to start with Zone Alarm. Zone Alarm has been around for many years. I remember using Zone Alarm some, I don't know, 15 years ago, if not more. Yes, it is a paid service, but Zone Alarm is a great security tool. It's antivirus, it's a firewall, it is also ransomware and phishing emails. And they've got a great tool which is actually a sandbox for your email. Here we go, virtual sandbox. Basically, you can send email attachments and documents to a secure cloud-based environment before opening them. That way, if there is a virus or malware, it opens within the sandbox and you don't get infected. Great tool. Also, just like Zone Alarm, we have Malwarebytes. This is the one I'm currently using. Malwarebytes, very much like Zone Alarm. What I like about Malwarebytes is the way it attacks ransomware. If you get infected with ransomware and it tries to change multiple files, which is what it does, it re-encrypts files. If it tries to encrypt files, if it sees that activity starting to happen, it locks it down. It stops it from happening. It's a great catch-all just in case something sneaks through. So I'm a big fan of Malwarebytes. In fact, we saw it where people are trying to rename multiple image files at the same time just for their own personal use, and malware shut it down. Malwarebytes shut it down. It's a great tool also. So these 4 tools, so we got Avast, Thycotic, Zone Alarm, and Malwarebytes, and I'll put all the links in the notes. But these 4 tools, they help us. They help us become aware. They help us understand what we're opening and what we're downloading. But vigilance will never be replaced by software. You have to be vigilant. If you're not expecting an email, then read it. If it's got an attachment or it's got links, don't just open them. Don't just click the link. Even if it says it's coming from a friend, it's easy to spoof somebody's address. If there's not a properly formatted email, if it doesn't have a proper reply to, or the links go to the same place, or there's no unsubscribe, there's no contact information, don't trust it. It's not worth it. 2 or 3 seconds of looking at an email could save you thousands in the long run and many hours of downtime. So there were a couple of things that will help us understand email. So there we go. We went longer than I thought, but we still only scratched the surface of ransomware, phishing, and malware. But I think we learned that you've got to be vigilant. You've got to take care of what you're looking at and don't rush into things. You know, staff education is paramount to the success of any business. So if you want to know more or you want to talk about this, drop me a line or visit us at triuneitc.com. If you have a comment about this video, leave it below. If you've got a question about future or suggestions for future ideas, down below. If you want to subscribe, thumbs up, thank you. And if you don't like it, thumbs down. It's the only way we get better. Well, we hope you have a great day. Once again, my name is Sean with Triune IT Consulting. Have a wonderful day. Bye.